pleased with all you do. Tried so hard to be like you. Flew too high and burnt the wind. Lost my faith in everything. Of hating me, shedding skin, succumb to fate. This machine is obsolete. Go! Hey!
Het leven, zolang het begint, maakt spaas en plezier. Du leefst ook maar eens, want straks als het te laat is, dan hebst de spiegel van. Geniet het van het leven, zolang als het nog kan.
Ruud Horrichs. You see every project in your artistic research as a planet in a universe of dementia and confusion. And every project brings about many new questions that you take from one to another project. You are developing a working method in your artistic research, multitude and exchange of constant input and output. I think these are the following planets, and correct me if I'm wrong. Interviews you've conducted with experts on dementia, the masters workshops, the theatre workshops you do with people with dementia, the theatre project that you do with guitarist and producer Bart Cindy in Roermond, where you specifically investigate the method of creating material muchness, and the performance Where the Fuck Am I?, in which you deliberately throw yourself into an artistic confusion. You are constantly on the move, it seems, on your spaceship from one planet to the other, and you constantly bring food from one world to another. Dude, it's like you're an astronaut. You quickly convert text spoken by people with dementia into visuals and image ideas that you immediately perform in Where the Fuck Am I? By improvising such ideas in the presence of an audience. New interesting perspectives and images are created that are interesting to build upon. An example of how you travel between those planets and use the output from one planet as input for the other. During an interview with a care provider at the Salvatore Welfare Center in Hasselt, I was told it was about what happens when a patient dies, how to prepare a body for a wake. And you've drawn that image as a theatre image that you wanted to investigate further. And about the same time, in the same period, you gave a workshop to people with dementia in Genk. You brought them into a guided fantasy into a forest in which they all experienced clean and colourful things. And when you asked the participant Franz, where he specifically bring you in that forest, he casually answered, "Forest. I sold my forest, young man." And you instantly converted such text into a visual. In this case, that resulted into a scene where someone cleans up the entire stage. In the end, these two ideas came together by drawing and talking to Bart Cindy, and you fused it into a big death scene in which your character was launched into a different, new world. And during that launch, a kind of flower bed occurred, created from all the material on stage. This is the way you work and will continue to work, because many of these examples end up on your next planet, a big show about a woman whose brain is slowly dissolving. It's a world where all the input and output, vice versa, it's new planets, it's new worlds. You've changed the title from knitted brain into there's no start, middle, end. This might stay, that title might still exist. How do you come up with all these things? What does that confusion consist of? Who's the woman? How do you expect the audience to relate to that woman? How to sympathize with her? From which meter level and from which character level are you working? Is it to what extent are you going to record the confusion in the performance? Is it recordable? Is it what should be fixed in terms of text and image before you start the rehearsal period, which obviously hasn't started yet? What will be the role of anger in the performance? Is it about anger? Is there anger involved? And is there a role for cheerfulness? Is there cheerfulness in the performance? How do you proceed to filter all the output of your artistic research into the performance? Is there a way you... how do you expect the audience, the people that are going to see the show, how do you expect them to understand what the show is about? Is it, in all this confusion, how do you expect the audience to understand what's going on?
I don't know yet.
When is the rehearsal period starting? Is it
22nd of July.
22nd of July? That's. How long is the rehearsal period?
Till the 12th of September.
And then first show on the day after.
Yes.
13th of September is the premiere. Right, and how do you expect your players are gonna react to the? Are you've got a script ready when you start rehearsals, or is it?
Kind of.
These actors know what they're getting into.
Some are.
Some are, and the main character, Els, is she? When's the last time you spoke with her?
A year ago.
A year ago. And she's now. You will see her in by the end of July. You will start working on the performance.
Yes.
Are you in any way afraid of this period where you're rehearsing? Because it seems like not everything is fixed. Is that what your way of working is about?
I think so.
Could you elaborate on that? Did you come to this point? You must have had previous experiences before you came to the point where you enter a period of rehearsals without really knowing what you're going to rehearse yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're all looking forward to the 13th of September, seeing the first show. Ruud Horrichs, thank you very much for this interview. Thanks for being here.
Daar zit de nacht, denk ik.
De wegenbaas of de naast? De naast.
Kijk eens naar deze koningin. Kijk eens hoe goed ze dat doet, hoe mooi ze dat doet. Goed zo, Sophia. Jullie zijn allemaal aan het trillen. Ja. En dat komt terug. Maar jullie zijn nog niet vertrokken. Jullie zijn je klaar aan het maken. Hou elkaar goed vast, want anders val je. Het is heel spannend. Het is heel spannend. Luister goed.
Everybody wants to be Ruud Horrichs. Ruud Horrichs of zijn. Ruud Horrichs heeft een hele beheerderslijst called Ruud Horrichs for a long time.
Dit is de controlekamer.
There was a progression to 55. The master became a handicapper in
Hij gaat dadelijk aftellen.
The Ruud Horrichs could not look the others in the eye. After everyone sees Ruud Horrichs in the rest. If Ruud Horrichs could not face the others. After everyone sees Ruud Horrichs in the rest. But now Ruud Horrichs seems ready for liftoff. Ruud Horrichs puts out his hand up. One move before liftoff.
Even een paar keer goed aanmalen.
Everything check. Everything good. Everything ready. 15, 13,
We gaan voor 10 seconden.
12, 11.
Succes! Ik weet niet waar we naartoe gaan. Ik weet het ook niet.
Ignition sequence.
Waar gaan jullie?
Ignition. Ready.
En trillen! Waar gaan jullie? Wat voor dikke! Waar gaan jullie omhoog?
Ha ha ha.